Hello everybody, it's other conservative coin collector. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having a great Sunday or Monday. It depends on when this goes up. If there's one thing that I've shown on this channel, it's my cream cheese container full of coins. As you can see, it's gotten quite full and is at the brink of exploding. That's why I have an upgrade. A giant cream cheese container that held a lot more cream cheese. It's mighty deep and should hold a lot more coins. If you take a look at the ounces on both containers here, this held 7.5 ounces and this holds 16 ounces, or a whole pound of cream cheese. So I'm going to have plenty of space in this one. I'm going to go through and actually analyze the value of these coins and make this the most valuable cream cheese container of all time. Let's do it. Gotta open her up and pile her up, pile her down there. Starting off, we have silver. These are 3 troy ounces of silver. This one is in the style of the Walking Liberty half dollar. And, oh, I have another one, but that's in a little worse shape of the Walking Liberty half dollar. And this is just 1 troy ounce. 1 troy ounce of silver is worth about $30. So we have about $90 in silver here, which is actually pretty insane. The asking price is about like $29.75 for one round, but we're gonna go with even 30. So that's 90 off the bat. And this is 1 troy ounce of copper, which is worth about maybe $2. This is $1 face value, and then the one thing that's not really worth anything is this $1 gaming token from the, or I think this is the Orleans Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada. This is not worth anything. It's a gaming token, but it's cool, so I'm going to keep it in my collection. So we got 90, $1, $2 right here. 93 for being generous. I just found this other like dollar, 94. Looking at my Morgan dollars, this one's between $41 and $63. And this one, I'm not getting a direct answer, because to get a more direct answer, you have to get both of them graded. And that takes too much time and money to do, which I don't have, of course. Yeah, it's funny, numismatist, it's the only hobby where you have tons of change, but none to spend. So I'm gonna, between 41 and 63, I'm gonna call this $50. I'm gonna call this another 50, so that's another $100 right here. Here's a couple of things not really worth anything. This one's not even a coin. Oh, it looks like it's you can maybe make a necklace out of it, or it's like it's a token. What says watching over Grandpa. Grandpa, each day and all night through, a guardian angel is watching over you. When I was at work, I found this on the floor, and it actually looked pretty neat. It is, hello. It's not like somebody had just dropped it. I had gotten back from doing something, and it was on the floor, and there was nobody around. So I picked it up, and it's now in my collection. I don't know who lost it, but I'm glad I found it. It's pretty cool, but not worth anything. This is a replica of an old, I think an old Chinese token. I got it at the, it was from the dollar bin at my local coin store, so I'm like, not worth it. In this $50, It's just clad, just $half. But there is no value to it other than the fact that it's got the Bills logo on the front of it. And I got it from one of my siblings for Christmas. That's the only value it has is family and sentimental value. Other than that, it's just $half, face value. Here's something that I found, a painted quarter. Again, it's just a quarter. There's nothing special about it other than the fact that it was painted. It says California, 1850. And whoever painted this did a good job because there's no chips, no cracks, no nothing. And I have no idea how long it was in circulation when I found it. And on top of being amongst all the other coins that could potentially chip and harm it, nothing. I have a lot of junk silver in this thing here. And before I get to the junk silver, I will talk about if my stupid camera will focus. You focusing? This. In 1853, large cent. Now, I've done videos on talking about large cent versus small cent, but the Flying Eagle was the very first U.S. cent that was, it looked like the ones we have today. And the Canadian cent is about the same size as our small cent today, so to give an idea, like the difference in size, and this is actually a very old Canadian cent, or Canadian penny. This is 1 cent. 1941, King George. It's just copper. I'm going to see how much this is. And make sure my camera actually keeps focusing. Although it's in... Well, the back side is a lot nicer than the front side, or the reverse is much better than the obverse. You can definitely see some circulation marks and some corrosion. But overall, it's a pretty rare coin with only 6.6 million ever minted. Granted, it's in a rough shape. I'll put it between a very good and a fine, and that's about $30. I'm not gonna go any higher than fine because the obverse is just pretty much destroyed, and the reverse is actually pretty nice. If I was to flap it, I would make reverse up because it's actually in pretty decent shape in the reverse. And it was before the U.S. Mint put ridges on coins, so you can see there's no ridges to it. Even when the Mint put ridges on coins, it was on silver specifically because people would clip the end of their silver coins and melt down the metal for their silver content and try to get some money out of it. The Mint made that illegal, and they put ridges on the coins to stop that. This here is another cool thing. It's a pendant, and it looks like it's. I got this pendant from somebody who came through my line at work, and lady was Catholic, gave me this. Apparently, it's for good luck or something like that. But it's got a very interesting design on the front and the back of it. I don't think it's made of any precious metal. And I think it's a few bucks online, but I don't really care. It was a gift. And, yeah. It looks like it was broken off or something. Or that's just how you can add it on to whatever necklace you have. If there's one thing you know I'm a sucker for, it's junk silver. And a lot of this pretty much is just junk silver, and a lot of face value, like this 1929 or something, like mercury dime, it's destroyed. And I have a mercury dime for the 40s. A lot of those are maybe face value, if not maybe a few bucks. War nickels are not really worth all that much. In fact, probably what I have worth the most is this Standing Liberty quarter. Of course, I can't tell what year it is. And it was minted after the Type 1 and Type 2 in 1917. I don't have a year on it, unless it potentially maybe a 0 or a 9. So I can't read the year on it. It's not worth all that. It's not really worth anything. It's pretty much face value. And I have some old Canadian silvers, more Mercury dimes, more war nickels. This is pretty much what you would find in a junk silver lot. Let's say you bought a bunch of junk silver off eBay or something like that, or Etsy. This is pretty much what you would find outside of the Buffalo nickel, which is not silver. But the Buffalo nickel actually looks almost identical to like the silver, so it's kind of hard if you're not looking correctly. But Buffalo nickels, V nickels, were never made of silver. The only nickels that were silver were the war nickels, and they only contained like 35 or 45% silver. I think it was 35%, if not maybe even a little less than that. But this is all junk silver, all face value, and a good silver dealer would probably want like maybe 25 to 30 times face for all this. And there's a lot here. But overall, I'm going to say this is all just, aside from this, junk silver, all worth face value, aside from the silver content. Face value is one thing, but this have silver in them. It may not be that much, but when silver goes up to $100 an ounce, this should be worth a lot more than just $30 an ounce right now. How much is it per gram? Silver is about 96 cents per gram, so that's funny. This is just a plastic token I got from the dollar bin. So it says American Revolution Bicentennial, celebrating the Bicentennial of America. 1776 to 1976. Well, actually, next year in 2026 will be the 250th year America was alive. So it'll be interesting to see if the Mint does anything for the 250th. Right now, I can show you this has no value. It says no cash value. I'm thinking this is another gaming token from another Vegas casino. My mom has an aunt who lives out in Vegas, and they went to visit her a couple of times. And of course, if you're going to Vegas, you might as well see what the casinos are like, and that's why I have a few gaming tokens. You don't necessarily have to gamble away your whole paycheck, but just like maybe bring 20 bucks, and if you lose it, you're done. I don't even know what this is doing other than just being copper. It's a 1969 US cent. I'm not even keeping this one. Another thing I could tell you that I have that isn't really worth anything are these bicentennial $half. They're all just clad, and you can just skip right over them if you're doing a $half hunt. They're not NAFCs, they're not made of silver, they're not proofs. They're just your average, standard $half. But what I have more than enough of are nickels. I have some Canadian nickels in here, some V or Liberty Head nickels, and some Buffalo nickels. I even have a shield nickel. I think I have a couple of shield nickels, but they're in my coin binder, which I don't feel like digging out right now. Let's separate them out, and I can actually tell you the value of them. Some of the V nickels I have are from 1911. This one's from 1912, 1904, 1907, and 1912. So they're all from well over 100 years ago. It's crazy to think this is what nickels just used to look like. And if you find one of these in a nickel hunt today, you are a lucky duck. Let's see how much these are all worth kind of as a whole here. The earlier years, obviously, are much more valuable, but these are all later years from like 1904 to 1912. You're looking at maybe $2 to $4. Like, let's see, maybe I'd say $2 each because none of them are in amazing shape. Some of them you can't even see the Liberty on the head there. That's the one thing I find fascinating about V-nickels. The reverse sometimes can look spectacular, and the obverse as well. The obverse. I'd say these are all about maybe $2 each. I broke my Buffalo nickels into two categories, ones with dates and ones without dates. Although a pretty design, these nickels have a design flaw in which, in a lot of them, the year would rub off before any of the design. And I hate to say it, but dateless Buffalo nickels, you can buy them for a nickel for a nickel. These are all 5 cents each. They're not even worth the time of day. However, ones with dates on them, if they're not nickel-dated, can be worth a little bit of something. I got 1936, 37, 36, 36, 37, 36, 1935 through 37. They're all in pretty average condition. None of them are too pristine. And in average condition, they're about $1 each. Even in uncirculated condition, the most you could get for one of these is about $42, but they're not in super good shape. And I'm nowhere near a professional grader, but I'd put them in good condition. Probably about $1 each for each of them. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About $7 for 7 of these. I have a surprising amount of Canadians. Being I live an hour from the border, it doesn't surprise me because I have way more Canadians in my safe that are just a laureate portrait and King George. King George. This looks like these look old. I have a special place for these. The rest of these Canadians, they're just Canadians, at least for now. Let's say the joke turns into a reality and Trump does take Canada over. Who knows what these would be worth in the future? But obviously, I'm sticking with it just being a pretty funny joke. And I like what the Babylon Bee said. He is going to take it over and rename it Gay North Dakota. I have no idea what's going to happen with Canada, and I have a feeling maybe I don't know. With our current president, you have no idea what he's going to do, and that's pretty interesting. Other than that, it's Canadians, not worth all that much. I'm just going to stick them in a container. Same with these dollar coins. I have a Susan B. Anthony dollar, and I have a 2000 Philadelphia Sacagawea dollar. Both dollar coins. I have a special place for these Canadians, and the rest of these I think are just all foreigns. I found more silver, a 1967 half dollar. It's not 90% silver. I think in 65 they moved to like maybe 40% silver, and then after 67 they took the silver out of it, but this is the last year for silver in half dollars. Very rough shape, but I'm keeping it. The last things I'm going to cover are these $2 coins here, worth only $1, 2000, and see if I can find a year here. I think I have a year. I think that says 2009, which I'm actually going to put this somewhere special because coins from 2009, any coin from 2009 is rare because a lot of them, there were a lot less minted that year. And then these are just going back in the bin. This is foreign. The rest of the stuff is not worth covering because I don't know the value of it because it's all foreign stuff. And I have a separate place I put my foreign stuff. And I think I thinned it out to the point where I can keep this container. And this container is only like a certain amount full. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm putting this stuff in the bigger container in case I find anything different because this is already still to the brim full. And the container it goes to be stored and forgotten about until I remember them again. The rest of this stuff I have a separate place for. I'm just going to do that off camera because that's boring. I'm the Conservative Coin Collector. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, hit the bell icon. Until next time, I'm signing off. So long.